I cannot believe I even have to discuss this, but it has come to my attention that so many people are so ignorant when it comes to politics, immigration, asylum seeking, racism. I've been speaking about this over the last couple of days in depth because Australia had a boat of illegal immigrants and land on the coast of Western Australia. They were found and arrested by Western Australia police, and they are now in Nauru, as it should be. I've been speaking about this on my social media over the last couple of days, and the amount of commentary, do-gooders who truly expect me to say the Australian government needs to just let this group of people in. It's a group of 43 men from India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan who clearly had enough money to pay people smugglers to arrange them to get on a boat and to come to Australia, yet for some reason these bleeding hearts are trying to make the case that this group should be allowed to come into Australia, settle, skip the queue, not require any documentation, and everyone should just be happy with that. The very fact that I'm questioning it offends them so viscerally that I'm receiving so many direct messages and comments on my social media videos and accounts. I'm truly gobsmacked that I have to explain the difference between legal immigration and illegal immigration. I mean, I knew lefties were dumb, but are they truly this dumb that they don't know the difference between legal and illegal immigration? And apparently not wanting illegal immigration makes you racist, because I've been called racist so many times over the past week because I have the audacity to say this group of people should have had documentation before they arrived here, and they shouldn't have arrived on a boat, and they shouldn't have paid people smugglers. And the funniest thing they say is, you're a descendant of immigrants. Yeah, I'm not arguing with that fact. I will proudly say that. I'm a descendant of legal immigrants. For some reason, lefties conflate legal and illegal immigration. They think whenever I talk about immigration, it always means illegal immigration. You truly have to make the distinction between legal and illegal immigration. Isn't that obvious? We're a country of migrants. Not every one of those migrants are illegal. Actually, none of them are, because if they're illegal, they would be on Nauru or Manus Island. So I'd like to make it clear, yes, I am a descendant of migrants. My ancestors came here legally. They had documentation. They came over with all the other Greek, Italian, and Lebanese, all the wogs after the war. Very normal things to do. I'm in no way criticizing that fact. I am very pro-immigration. Why would I not be? It would make no sense for me to be anti-immigration. Immigration is a great thing, but it has to be done in the right way. So let me make this very clear. Legal immigration equals good. Illegal immigration equals bad. And then we have refugees. Refugees are people who have officially been granted refugee status by international organizations. They've been acknowledged as fleeing from persecution, and groups of people who belong to a country with political unrest, corruption, and whose lives are truly in danger if they remain there. And of course we should take those people in. And we do. Australia has very generous refugee and asylum seeker quotas, which we stand by. And I also agree with that. People fleeing persecution genuinely should be given refuge in places like Australia, America, safe haven places, particularly women and children. And if you look at the boat that came last week, there were no women and children to be seen. They were men in the prime of their lives, and that's what it usually is with these asylum seekers who arrive on leaky boats, who have the funds to pay people smugglers. You know what? Those women and children, because you know what? Those women and children who are truly fleeing persecution don't have the funds to pay a people smuggler. They have to wait in line like everyone else. And yes, sometimes the wait can be decades, and it's heartbreaking, because nothing would be better than getting those truly vulnerable people out of there. But unfortunately, these things take a lot of time. And people who don't need asylum coming on leaky boats trying to skip the queue are just making it harder for those genuine asylum seekers. So these virtue signalers who are criticizing me, saying I'm racist, I'm anti-humanitarian, Actually, I think that they're the anti-humanitarian ones. The more time, effort, and resources that go into these people who can afford to pay people smugglers, the more genuine refugees suffer. But of course, it's out of sight, out of mind. All they care about is looking like they are virtuous and they're righteous, because the extent of their activism is criticizing me on social media, me who is actually trying to get the word out about this, build a following to actually create real change, as opposed to them who have a anonymous account, sit behind a keyboard and throw out one sentence criticism about how I'm the bad person because I don't want to open the floodgates to this country. And I've said it before and no one can answer me. What is it that they actually want? What's the magic number intake of immigrants that they will be happy with? Is it endless? Should we take in the entire world? Whoever wants to come should be allowed to come here. And then what happens? See, they can never answer. Or when they do answer, they say we should give them everything that they want. We should give them money, a job, education, shelter, as if all of these things will come out of thin air. Of course, they say the government needs to give them these things, but who's the government? Again, they just don't have the intelligence to realize what they're saying. The government is actually not this ATM in the sky that just prints out money. The money that the government receives is taxpayer money. It comes from us. So unfortunately, our taxes won't be able to provide for the rest of the world. Even though you think in your deluded world that we have this endless supply of money, and the reason that we're not giving it to the rest of the world is because we're selfish. No, I'm sorry, that's just not how it works. A robust economy means that the money going out needs to be less than the money coming in. Now, under the lefties' fantasy world, in this utopia where everyone from poorer countries can come into Australia and live harmoniously side by side with everything that they could ever possibly want, it just doesn't work in the real world. Now, if they can get into power and somehow change our economic system to create endless amounts of cash, then go right ahead. But I think they tried that under communism and it just didn't work. I am truly scared for the next generation because it is young people who are saying these things to me. You know, it's all well and good to want a better world for everyone else. I want that, of course, but you need to maintain some semblance with reality. So as I keep saying, if they want to open the floodgates, let them, but let all illegal immigrants stay with these people. They have to be responsible for their every move. The reason that lefties are so in the clouds with this is because they truly haven't experienced, is because they are so damn privileged. They live in a bubble. They haven't had to experience any negative impact on their lives. They go to school, they go to university. They live in a very well-off country. They probably live at home with their parents. They haven't had much struggle at all in their lives. And they think because they haven't had struggle, then no one else should have to have struggle. And as much as I admire that, they probably have some guilt about that. They don't realize that the world is a big bad place and not everyone is as kind-hearted or, quite frankly, naive as them. If we let people in without documentation and proper checks, we will bring in a sample size of the world, and that will include brilliant people and it will include really bad people as well. And that's the exact reason we have such long waiting times and processing times to bring people into this country, because we only want to bring people who are going to contribute, and that's not a bad thing. I'm wondering if these progressives think that we truly should be bringing in criminals. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. They probably think, well, they've been so hard done by in life. They're so misunderstood. They've had a terrible upbringing. We should give them a second chance. This is truly how they think. And this is why I'm so scared for the future. Because the people smugglers know that that's how we think here in Australia. So they're going to exploit that.